Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It is me, Mashir's Cameraman, and today I'm reacting to Kestis, a Jedi Survivor Story official trailer. Yeah, I don't have much to say before we get into it. However, I do have one thing to say. If you haven't already voted for the Fan Film Awards 2023, vote now. Vote closes, I think, in a few weeks, December 15th, around that point. I haven't decided on an official date yet, but it's going to be around that point. Vote, vote, vote. Look at the 24 fan films. Share it around. This is the time to start sharing this thing. Yeah. I don't have anything else to say. Let's jump into it. I think this is going to be like a Sony trailer. That looks really good. This looks pretty good. That's funny. It looks good.
Cal.
I'm sorry.
It looks good.
Sometimes I just prefer a straight fight over looking the other way.
When you tire of losing, you know where to find us.
There are things we must discuss.
Father.
Dax Rinsler has just returned home.
Welcome home, Dax. Good to see you back.
Chief Tan
My
Scaretta.
boy. By fate, it was only Barden we managed to find and return home.
You are outnumbered. Come peacefully and we won't have to stun you.
This is the way.
Sometimes survival means choosing battles. But at all times, it means choosing who you want to be.
Good. I think there's a lot of characters.
Seems I have a Jedi to hunt.
Get ready, BD.
Our creed is, family is more than blood.
This looks good.
Your death was a disappointment to me.
That's pretty.
Stem.
130, 20. Okay. So,
Stem.
I'm trying to get to that point where I can Okay, let's talk about this. I'll admit, looks really good. I haven't played any of the Jedi, what was it, Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. I haven't played those yet. I've heard a lot of good things about it, just never played it. I probably should, though. So I don't know the plot. The thing I'm worried about is that there's a lot of characters. Like, there's a lot of Mandalorians, there's some stuff going on with Cal Kestis, and then there's, like, the Empire. I don't know how impactful the Mandalorian are in the story, or if it's like they just showed a lot of them in the trailer. Because if they just showed a lot in the trailer, that's fine. But I also feel like if that's a lot of the story, then how are they going to tell a story with so many characters? Of course, it's just like a nitpick almost. But I'm just also like very skeptical sometimes with trailers. But I'll admit, it looks really good. I think what really stood out to me is the production design. I think a lot of this stuff looks good, especially what I think really stuns me sometimes with Star Wars stuff, mostly with these fan films, is like they do a lot of stuff in like the wild, in a sense. Like they don't do stuff in the Empire, in the Death Star normally, mostly because unless they are using green screen, because they can't build a set like that. I think they actually built a set with like the stuff, like with like the look and the aesthetic of it. That's what I think they did. I think I could see that, unless they were just showing quick shots so they could hide the green screen. If they did, that's impressive. Like, I don't even know if they, like, did something like Disney or something. Like, I don't know what they did. But that's impressive if they actually, like, were able to build something like that out. Because that's not an easy thing to do. But I think the lightsabers also look good. I think a lot of Star Wars fan films have nailed their lightsabers. I think the ones on low budget don't. A lot of those higher budget fan films really nail production design on it and how it looks. But I also think something I really do think I should talk about in a video at some point is kind of how how there's like the high budget fan films that are really good and the low budgets. And there's a huge like jump between them, and you have to do like a high budget, high level, high stakes fan film. Is that really what you should be doing? And I feel like it's an interesting debate, but I think it's also something to be spoken about. I think that's a very big thing to be discussed. I think in a future video I'm gonna actually have to talk about this kind of stuff, because I've been seeing this very often when it comes to certain fan films, how fan films are starting to have a formula, how each fan film feels similar from certain studios. And I feel like that's something that has to be discussed, because I feel like there's a lot of really good looking fan films. The Conrad Studios stuff, this looks really good. Lotus had good production value. Say what you want about that film, it had good production value. But like, I just feel like a lot of fan films these days just aren't, there's a lot of homemade ones. I think those are looked down upon almost. I feel like it has to be a high-budget, good-looking fan film for it to be respected. And I don't think that's necessarily how it should be. I think the way something like this should be is you make a good fan film, it should be respected. It shouldn't be budget-based. It shouldn't be how it looks. Like, it should be, if it's a good story, and yes, production design can go into it, but I don't think, this fan film doesn't look as, like, they put $10,000 into it, I'm not going to watch this thing. I don't think that's how it should be. Like, I think some low-budget fan films have gotten respect. Very few have, and I think that's something that has to be discussed. Because without getting respect for these low-budget fan films, then the community is not going to survive. But I think that's a huge debate. But I think something like this story, is such an interesting story. I think it's such a good idea overall, and I think it looks so good. I think, like, even some of the basic things, just the scale that they're going for is really impressive. But I think it's an interesting thing to be discussed. Why is the budget and the production design so important? I think it looks good, though. I know I just got off topic for a bit. I think it looks really good, though. I think there's a lot of the same shots. There's a lot of the same scenes that were being shown. But there was a lot of different stuff as well. The one thing I don't love is that it didn't tell much of a story. Like, it got some things from it, but I didn't get so much from it. I didn't get so much from a villain. And I feel like I got a lot from that ending fight scene. And what scares me is that when I see a trailer like this and the film comes out, it's normally a very short film. Like, for The Successor, for example. It had a lot of shots from the dialogue scenes and shots from almost every scene. So when the film came out, it wasn't much new. It was just a very short film with the trailer shots. This looks like it could be because all the fight scenes were really from that beach fight. Unless that beach fight is just so good. But I feel like if they're going for a big Star Wars fan film scale, it's a big business. Like, especially going for Mandalorian, it's a big risk, but I think they can nail it. I think they really can nail it. And it looks good. I think it looks really good. And they have interesting ideas. I really like the idea of, like, them stopping the lightsaber blade with the Force. I thought that was really cool looking. And overall, it looks really good. I'm not gonna lie, it looks good. I think what worries me is that they're gonna go too far, and it's gonna be, like, too much. It's gonna be like a Lotus issue. It's gonna be like a Superman Solar issue. Because I feel like Superman Solar and Spider-Man Lotus were, like, the two biggest fan films. And then they both flopped. I think that's something that has to be discussed. I think that's something that has to be looked at. I think this is going to be great. I think this looks like it's going to be incredible. But who knows? And I'm definitely going to review it in January or February, depending on when I get that video out. But I think it's going to be really good. It looks really impressive visually. I think the story looks interesting. I'm just worried it's going to be too short for its own good. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already voted for the Fan Film Awards 2023, vote. Besides that, thank you so much for watching this video. See you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.